Good afternoon. I'm Daniel Miller, your host for this installment of the American Writer Chronicles. This week we've come to a small town along the banks of the Mississippi River called Hannibal, Missouri. We're here to find out a little bit more about the man behind the legend of the town's most famous denizen, Mark Twain. I'm outside the Hannibal Public Library, the town's centric meeting place for its movers and shakers. I hope to find someone that we can interview to learn a little bit more about Mark Twain. Let's go take a look inside. Excuse me, gentlemen. My name is Daniel Miller with the American Writer Chronicles. I was wondering if the two of you could tell me anything about one Mr. Mark Twain.
Wee doggy! Y'all want to know facts about old Twain, you come to the right folk.
Darn tootin'. You just can't trust those fancy new textbooks or that worldwide thingamabudget those city folk use.
That's right, Jed. You want to know facts, come straight to the folk who knew 'em. That's why I came, ain't it, Danny? Why don't you scoot on over here and set up on this here table, and we'll tell you a thing or two.
I think I'd like that very much. My first question to you is this. Do you know anything about Twain's childhood? And if so, what can you share with us about it?
No Twain's childhood. You be darn sure we know it. We lived it.
Yep, that's true, Jed. You know, we may not look it, but me and Jed here, we be old enough to be about a couple youngsters by the time Twain was growing up. I got a great story about him. One time we went down to Miss Old Peabody's and we...
No way here, Ned. If you want to sound like you know anything about cotton picking, first thing that you need to know is that the name Mark Twain is nothing but what they call a pseudonym. It's a phony. His real name his mama gave him on the day he done birth was Samuel Clemens.
When he was born in this here town of Hannibal, it was a bit much different place. There was nearly 500 souls inhabiting this here land on the Mississippi. There ain't much entertainment around this city, but the most entertainment comes when some exotic comes on them river boats.
Now, when Sam was 11, his daddy got the pneumonia. Before you knew it, we was playing him over on Cemetery Hill. Sam was real sad. But we had to do something for his mama and siblings.
Bring home the bacon, if you don't mind the use of the local.
Nah, Jed, using your fancy speak for the TV camera. I see how it's gonna be. But yeah, Sam had to get a job to get some money. He worked at the grocery store and at the printing press.
I bet the two of you were pretty disappointed by that.
Definitely. Boys are meant to spend their days exploring the country, not cooped up in some shabby print and press operation. He didn't have time for his friends no more, so we grew up and apart.
If there's one thing I remember about those later years, it'd be that boy's determination to get his behind out of Hannibal, someplace with a bit more action than ringless water snakes or at old lady Peabody's boat launch.
I remember that place. Clemens and me, we went down there one day when he weren't working at the store, and he told me his plans, you see. He was always aiming to go down to South America to see the Amazonians.
He wanted adventures like...
Are you gonna let me get a word in edgewise, or am I gonna have to sit back and listen to the great Jedediah deliver his oratory?
Nah.
Well, he did want to go south, and darn tootin' he did. When he was 18, bang, he shot up and leapt this podunk town like a stray cat out of a bucket of water.
And nobody here worked or knew of his whereabouts until sometime later when his first book hit the public markets. Daddy became big stuff.
So that's all the two of you know about his life before he became famous?
I'm afraid so. But listen, I hear around these parts there might be...
Well...
Holy cat! What in tarnation are you trying to do, old man? Give this old heart and a lesson in Olympic sprinting?
Well, Sonny, I think I might lend my knowledge to your discussion about Mr. Samuel Clemens, a.k.a. Mark Twain. You see, I fancy myself a bit of an expert on the man.
Why don't you have a seat and tell us a little bit more?
All right. This old back don't bend like it used to. Hoo boy. All righty then. Yeah, you know, I just was reading about them Mesopotamians and inventing things, and oh boy,
Well, that's really nice, but I was really wondering what you could tell us about Mark Twain.
Oh, Mark Twain, what a good stroke of luck you ask me. You see, I consider myself a bit of an expert on the man. Now, here's something you may not know. His real name, it ain't Twain, it's Samuel Clemens.
Actually, I'm a little more interested in what you know about what happened after he left Hannibal.
Well, to start, allow myself to introduce myself. My name be Captain Horace E. Bixby, pilot of the Horatio G. Wright Mississippi Riverboat. I taught Clemens how to be a pilot. He was a nuisance, to be sure, but I saw in him the makings of a good pilot, and that's just what he done was. When the war broke, he left the boating business and headed west. We kept limited contact then on. I know he made his way up to Nevada, and he tried his luck at prospecting gold and silver. It was a fool's venture to start, and he failed. From there he got a job in a local newspaper and started his career in writing. That was where the name Mark Twain came in. He was good at writing them news pieces, but it wasn't until he wrote books that he got any bit of fame.
That be the... I knew it. The notorious jumping frog of Calaveras County.
Right, Sonny. That little buckaman sent him on his way to a great career in writing. That boy done written some of the best books there ever was. Adventures of Tom Sawyer, The Prince and the Pauper, Life on the Mississippi, all giant hits all around the world.
Yep, that fame sure changed his life. He got to live his dream and see the world.
He does speak at universities in Vienna, London, and elsewhere.
By the end of his life, he had completed his autobiography, and he was ready to go. He was a good man. And he left this world in a better place than when he found it. Darn tune. You bet your buttons.
Well, it's been a true pleasure listening to these gentlemen. We truly appreciate them sharing their knowledge about Mark Twain.
Mark Twain? I consider myself a bit of an expert on the man.
Well, until next time, I'm Daniel Miller for the American Writer Chronicles. Good night.
Mark Twain? I consider myself a bit of an expert on the man. I thought we were gonna like...
There's one thing I remember about those later years.
Are you gonna let me get it word in edgewise? Is that even right? No. Boys are meant to spend their days exploring the country, not cooped up there. Yeah. Starting over. I was just sit here and listen to the great Jedediah deliver his oratory. Shoot, I don't know this part.
That's okay.
Might be.
Well, son.
Holy cat! What incarnation are you trying to do, old man?
I've been thinking I might be one of
Oh, man. Holy cat!
Wait.
Go, Craig.
Holy cat!
Good night.